Alright everybody, today we're going to learn how to make one of these little origami chomper guys out of just a simple piece of white printer paper, and you can decorate them really however you want. So let's do our best to follow along, pause it when you need, and let's get to it. Alright, so like I said, we're going to be using a piece of regular printer paper. I highlighted the edges of it orange so that you guys can see my folds a little bit clearer. You don't need to do that to yours. Occasionally, I'll be using another marker to outline another fold just in case they're hard to see. But don't worry about using colors during this step. Worry about using them after to decorate your origami chomper. For our first step, we're going to be taking our paper and folding it directly in half. If you're new to folding origami, the accuracy of your fold is pretty important, so try your best to match your corners up, like I did right there, before you crease your paper, just like that. You can hold one edge of your paper and then just use your other finger or whatever to flatten this out. We're then going to take one of these halves, one of these like little flaps, and we're going to fold it to match that upper edge of the paper, creasing it with our fingers and trying our best to really match it to the top edge right there. Then you're going to take your paper and we're going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing to this one. There's a lot of symmetry in origami, so anytime that you do one step, expect that you do it on the opposite side as well. Now that we've got this folded together all accordion style, this last one that we just folded, I'm actually going to unfold. You'll see here that we have a nice crease going down the middle, and our two edges are here. We have more folded pages down here in the back. We're just going to leave those there. Next step is that we're going to take this top corner right over there and we're going to fold it down to match it to this crease line that we have here. If you're a fan of making paper airplanes, this is going to feel kind of familiar to you, because we're going to take this bottom corner here and we're going to fold it up to match that other side. Just like that. Now, like I said, symmetry is important here. We're going to do the same steps to this side and to this side. Taking this top corner and folding it down, all flaps included, right there, right to that middle edge, and I'm going to take the other one over here and I'm going to do the same. So you should have a shape that's kind of similar to this. We're going to then take the whole model and we're going to fold it in half like a hot dog bun, just like this. So we should have a folded and creased bottom part, a top open flap like that. The next step is that we're going to take our entire model and we're going to fold it in half right down the middle like this. So I'm going to take this half. I'm going to try my best to match this point with this point here. Once I do, I'm going to hold it there with one finger, and then I'm going to use this finger to kind of push and crease right there on that part of our piece of paper. We're going to then open this back up, and you should see a crease going right down the middle here. I'm going to take my marker because we're actually going to use a pair of scissors here, and we're going to be cutting this bottom part about maybe like your fingernail's length, not like a crazy amount. So I'm just gonna kind of measure my finger there and draw a little red line. That little red line is as much as we're gonna cut it. It's okay if it's a little longer or a little shorter. I think a little longer works a little bit better here. So I'm gonna take a pair of scissors and I'm going to give it a snip right about there. If you don't have any scissors around, you can very carefully press your paper, fold it really, really hard, and then tear it with your hand just a little bit. You don't need to go very far. Now that we have that tear, I'm going to flip it back over the way we had it. I'm going to take this flap here that we just created, and I'm going to fold it upward And I'm gonna try my best to kind of push this all the way back like so. So I just kind of flipped this up and made a little triangle flap there. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other flap. Just gonna take that, flip it up. This part of the paper might be a little tough, just because there's so many folds right here and it gets so slim on that side. So if you have to like really push and then redo your fold and crease with your thumb, don't worry, that's just the nature of having paper folded onto itself so much. Now that we've done this side of our model, I'm gonna flip the whole thing over. And just like we did on the other side of our model, we're gonna take this little flap area here and we're gonna be folding those up. These triangles that we're folding are gonna be kind of like the teeth or lips or edge of beak, whatever you decide to kind of turn your chomper into later. They're a good spot to think about what you would like to put a design on. Here we have it folded. Now we're almost done. We did pretty much all the tricky bits. The last thing to activate our chomper is that you'll notice that these flaps that we just put up create this like little pocket on the inside. This is actually the inside of your chomper's mouth. So you just have to take 1 point in one hand and 1 point in the other, and then bring those 2 points together. And your paper should start coming together to create this chomper shape. My chomper is kind of dented on this side, and that's not an issue. You can just open up the chomper's mouth and then press with your finger inside, just to kind of even it out. And then press it back together and your chomper should be all ready to go. If you hold it like this in the back with 2 fingers or 3 fingers on the top and then the couple fingers on the bottom, oops, it jumps. You can get it to open and close like the mouth of a puppet. And now you can take materials like some markers or colored pencils or whatever you have. You're going to take your chomper and you're going to let it open its mouth all the way until it goes flat. And in this flat state, you can start to draw and design on top of it. If you want to draw something like eyes on your chomper and you want to make sure that they're in like a spot that feels good for you, I would recommend taking like a marker, and while it's in the closed position, putting a little dot like that, and maybe a little dot on the other side of where you want the eyes to go. That way when it opens, you can see here that this is where you want the eye to be drawn. So I'm just going to go ahead and make that eye bigger, flip it over, make this eye bigger too, so that when I close it, I can see it kind of has this like weird like pair of eyes. You can design this however you want. Like angry eyes. You can have a friendly chomper if you want to, but I think they look kind of funny when they have like more concerned eyes like this. But pretty much that's how you want to approach creating your chomper. The folds, if you need to, you can go back and pause the video wherever you need. And of course, have fun decorating and coloring and giving your chomper some personality. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck with your folding.